Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namah Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudhana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Moha. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Moha. Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudhana. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Nittai Gauranga, Nittai Gauranga. Nittai, 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 Nittai Gauranga. Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Patita Pavana Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Haribol. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Srila Prabhupada ki Prabhupada Anuga ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 8, Text 5. 2.8.5 Pravishtaha karnarandrena swanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam krishnaha salilasya yatasharat. Please repeat. Pravishtaha karnarandrena swanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam krishnaha salilasya yatasharat. Pravishtak karnarandrena swanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam krishnaha salilasya yatasharat. Pravishtak karnarandrena swanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam krishnaha salilasya yatasharat. pravishtaha, thus being entered, karnarandhrena, through the holes of the ears, swanam, according to one's liberated position, bhava, constitutional relationship, saraharuham, the lotus flower, dhunoti, cleanses, shamalam, material qualities like lust, anger, avarice, and hankering. Krishna hai, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Salilasya, of the reservoir of waters. Yatha, as it were. Sharat, the autumn season. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: the sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus it acts like autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. Purport: it is said that a single pure devotee of the Lord can deliver all the fallen souls of the world. Thus one who is actually in the confidence of a pure devotee like Narada or Shukadeva Goswami, and thus is empowered by one's spiritual master, as Narada was by Brahmaji, can not only deliver himself from the clutches of Maya or illusion, but can deliver the whole world by his pure and empowered devotional strength. The comparison to the autumnal rain that falls on muddy reservoirs of water is very appropriate. During the rainy season, all the waters of the rivers become muddy. But in the month of July, August, the autumn season, when there is a slight rainfall, the muddy waters of all the rivers all over the world become at once clear. By addition of some chemical, a small reservoir of water like that of a metropolitan waterworks tank can be cleared. But by such a tiny effort, it is not possible to clear up all the reservoirs of water like the rivers. A powerful, pure devotee of the Lord, however, can deliver not only his personal self, but also many others in his association. In other words, the cleansing of the polluted heart by other methods, like the culture of empiric knowledge or mystic gymnastics, can simply cleanse one's own heart. But devotional service to the Lord is so powerful that it can cleanse the hearts of the people in general by the devotional service of the pure empowered devotee. A true representative of the Lord like Narada, Sukadeva Goswami, Lord Chaitanya, the 6 Goswamis, and later Sri Bhakti Vinoda Thakur and Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, etc., can deliver all people by their empowered devotional service. By sincere efforts to hear Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, one realizes his constitutional relationship with the Lord in the transcendental humor of servitude, friendship, paternal affection or conjugal love, and by such self-realization one becomes situated at once in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Not only were all the pure devotees like Narada self-realized souls, but they were engaged in preaching work automatically by spiritual impetus. Thus they delivered many poor souls engaged in the material modes. They became so powerful because they sincerely followed the Bhagavatam principles by regularly hearing and worshipping. By such actions, the accumulated material lusts, etc., become cleansed by the personal endeavor of the Lord within the heart. The Lord is always within the heart of the living being, but He becomes manifested by one's devotional service. Purification of the heart by culture of knowledge or mystic yoga may be all right for the time being for an individual person, but it is like the cleansing of a small quantity of stagnant water by chemical processes. Such clarification of water may stand for the time being and the sediments settle down, but by slight agitation everything becomes muddy. The idea is that devotional service to the Lord is the only method of cleansing the heart for good, whereas other methods may be superficially good for the time being. There is a risk of becoming muddy again due to agitation of the mind. Devotional service to the Lord with specific attention for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and always is the best recommended method for liberation from the clutches of illusion. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunatha Navitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This chapter is called Questions by King Parikshit from the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, and he is asking some very eager questions. The chapter starts with Parikshit Maharaj saying that I want to hear Harer Adbhuta Leela. I want to hear about the wonderful activities of Hari. He says that here very nicely. And is requesting. That is why Shukadeva Goswami is so excited. He is not asking yoga, karma, how to do yoga, what asana to follow, how to fix the mind, how to become steady in my varnashrama duties. He is asking, please tell me about Hari. This is the amazing question. Harer adbhutta viryasya katha loka sumangalaha. Etat veditum ichchami. Ichha, my desire, I want you to speak to me about Harer adbhuta viryasya. Adbhuta means wonderful. Viryasya means activities, wonderful activities, Leela. Katha, tell me those. Loka sumangala, very auspicious for everybody else also. So you see the question, rarely do people directly ask, tell me about Harikatha. People will always ask, Sir, Swami, konjam kaiya paathu sollunga, eppo lottery ticket voda porudhu, Swami, daughter marriage avuma, enakku vela kedaikuma, in the business varuma. People ask all questions to do with their mundane conditioned life only. It is rarely you will see somebody who has crossed behind those questions and is even crossing behind other transcendental subject matters of yoga, jnana, and is asking question, Harer Adbhuta Viryasya. Tell me about Hari. That is why Shukadeva Goswami is excited to answer these questions. Because he also, as a person who is fixed in Brahman, heard about Krishna from the disciples of Vyasadeva and got attracted to Krishna. Harer Adbhuta Viryasya. And he has heard all that and is ripe and excited. And exactly Parikshit Maharaj asking, tell me about that only. He did not tell me about Brahman, you Brahmavadi. He didn't ask like that. That's why this question is very amazing. He is saying, Katasva Mahabhaga Yata Aham Akhilatmani Krishne Niveshya Nihasangam Manastyakshe Kalevaram. O greatly fortunate Shukadeva Goswami, please continue narrating Srimad Bhagavatam so that I can place my mind upon the Supreme Soul, Lord Krishna, and being completely freed from material qualities, thus relinquish this body. What is he saying? He is saying that my material life will become successful. While I am in the last portion of my life, I have been cursed. He is not asking how to remove this curse, what parihara to do, what homa to do, which demigod to propitiate. He is saying, I am going to die. I want to hear about Krishna and die. So you must understand the mind and the heart of Parikshit Maharaj. He is a devotee from the beginning. The interesting thing is the curse has been put on a devotee. When a curse is put on a devotee, this is what a devotee will do. What he will do? Sari, let's sit down and hear Krishna Katha. And let us peacefully die. Curse is not important. Punishing that person is not important. Getting angry on that person is not at all important. What's important is, let's do the best we can do now in this situation. Hear about Krishna, chant Krishna's name, and I've got the right person in front of me by arrangement of the Lord. Shukadeva Goswami is here. Let me hear from him. See, this is a decision made by Parikshit Maharaj. He didn't make a decision to go behind Shringi, that young brat of a Brahmana boy. How dare you curse me? I'll show you. This is what normally Kshatriyas will do. But Parikshit Maharaj is a devotee first. It's also a very powerful Kshatriya. He could do that. He chose not to. It's better to be a devotee for this time. I will completely rely on Krishna. He renounced everything, came to the bank of the Ganges, and he's telling, I want to hear Krishna Katha. Actually, none of the other sages were able to satisfy him also. He came to the bank and so many other sages gathered there. So many great personalities came. They were not able to give a solution. Correctly what you should do. When Shukadeva Goswami came only, it happened. So he is excited about meeting Shukadeva Goswami also. Devotee meets devotee and gets excited. Devotee does not get so excited when he meets Jnani. Doesn't get so excited when he meets Karmi at all. Leave alone ordinary materialists who are addicted to sinful activities. Devotee gets excited when he meets another devotee who also is indulging in Krishna consciousness. Satam prasangan mamavirya samvido bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kataha tajjoshanad asva apavargavarkamani shraddha bhavati anukramishyati. Very nicely explained. So beautiful shlokas from the Bhagavatam directing you to become absorbed in Krishna Katha. And that is why you will see the questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj. Shrinavataha Shraddhya Nityam Granatascha Swacheshtitam Kalena Nati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. He has got full faith that if I keep hearing from you, Shukadeva Goswami, Krishna will enter my heart and I will experience Krishna. He is telling this here. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time. This is Parikshit Maharaj speaking, not Shukadeva Goswami. He is speaking what confirmed by Shukadeva Goswami earlier. He is confirming it. I believe in it. Therefore you must continue speaking. You must continue speaking. So we read today the shloka. After that he is saying, Pravishta karna randhrena swanam bhavasaruriham dhunoti shamalam krishna shalilasya yata sharat. So beautiful composition. They are just sitting somewhere in the forest and they are speaking to each other like muddy water in the autumn season. We are there in that season now. Gets completely cleared by the fresh shower of rains first. A nice smell of the earth comes and the atmosphere becomes so cleansed. Just like that you can experience when you hear Krishna Katha. consciousness getting purified. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki. You can experience it. Unfortunately, some people are not able to. But most people who hear Bhagavatam seriously, it is mentioned here, carefully, seriously, with focus, they can experience a freshness, a very good feeling, deep inside. Because Bhagavatam is about the heart. Gyan is about the head. Everybody in this material world is busy with their head, with their intelligence. How to make money, how to, be smart materially, how to come up in the material life. Because how to become famous, how to be judged nicely by others. All of these things are actually useless. In the end, you die. So it is useless. But Harer Adbhuta Viryasya and serving Hari will last with you forever. It is a natural occupation of the soul. Today morning on my walk, swift walk before coming here for Darshanarthi, I was seeing that the field is filled with people. At least some 25 teams are playing cricket. We were walking on the side of it. And so many emotions they have. Hey, come on, what? You left the catch here. Each one is getting emotionally. I said, Arey yaar, feeling so. Vitti potru, I am telling. Catch uta, cut him to pieces. For just he left a ball down here. I mean, look at what they are taking seriously. Emotionally charged. Runs about it. We'll lose the match. I have one small ball here. It's taking everybody for a ride. The ball is beaten. Then everybody runs behind one ball. And what a game around one ball. Discovered by some Englishmen and brought into India. And colonized Indians are now following it very rigidly. Their life is based on the ball. Go behind the ball. Go behind the ball. So lately I had written a blog and says that, why so many guys are fighting for one ball here? I'll give each one ball. Please go home. Football, FIFA. Some simple man is thinking, evlo santa pidikranga oru ballukku. His interpretation of the game is, fighting so much for ball, the whole gallery of people, emotions. Some guy committed suicide. Why are you taking? I'll give everybody one ball. Donation. Go home peacefully, keep one ball. Actually, the game is that stupid. But you take it so seriously. Take it so seriously. So most of the time we get lost by Maya's plan into taking seriously things which are not really serious. They're not serious. You don't have to take it seriously. But you must take worship of the Supreme Lord seriously. That is why Parikshit is singularly, prominently noted. Although he is a very famous person, although he is very rich, very powerful, the greatest of all kings, he chose to put his attention on what is most important. Now everybody is now bothered about how to make money. We were just walking down here and I was seeing agricultural exhibition, something going to happen. And they're standing there with a big, and one man said, Swamiji, Hare Krishna. He was having leaflets. They're already distributing, this machine is good for that, this machine is good for that, and this mass crops you can produce. Agriculture. And they're showing one young farmer, pretty old farmer sitting on that machine. Poor fellow. He is being spoiled. Actually, he is showing how to monetize the farming that he is doing. How to make money out of the farming. He is doing farming and getting enough food for his house and for the other people around him, and is living a happy life. What here? You are wasting time. You should cultivate the land more. Take the crop, sell it in the market, make money, build a big bungalow here, and then fly, and then do this, do that. Teaching how to make money. Why? Because economy. The nation's economy has to go up. GDP has to go up. So you, simple man, living nicely, happily, good relationships with your relatives, with people around you, and everybody is cultivating in your village, and if you have something excess, you will give it to the other person. Because it's coming from the earth. I get plenty. You are also getting plenty. You give me something I don't have, I give you something I have. There's no question of money in their head. But this money has come inside, currency. Then after that, each one of these fellows saying, I'll not give you. If you give me money only, I'll give you. What I'm supposed to give you and share with you and share with everybody, because it's God's property. Now I feel I should not give you free. I should take money for it. Same way education also. Education is meant to be free. All the Brahmanas shared knowledge. Every day they'll come to their compound outside and sit down under the tree and teach to so many students will come and learn from them. He's not asking money. He's not a very rich person. But he gives knowledge free. He will teach the Shastra, he'll teach Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, everything. Free. And they will all ask questions and he will tell them, be good, be devotees, chant Hare Krishna, read Bhagavat, follow life like this. He will tell, and they will get from home some dakshina for him. They will bring some coconuts, some fruits, some rice, some this thing, give him. He'll manage his house like that. If you don't give also, does not matter. If you don't give also, he will teach, because he never thought in his mind he should monetize his teaching. These are all not meant for making money. But all that you make money out of. You make money out of education. You make money out of farming, food. You make everything monetized. Even your relationships in your house is monetized. That's why you don't live even a good family life. Nobody lives a life wherein your heart is exercised. Everybody is living a life where the head and the mind is busy. Lust, greed, anger, enviousness. This is not the way to lead life. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, although I am a king, my whole heart is waiting to hear about the Hare Adbhuta Viryasya. So this is what Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has done. He's written all these books, given us deity worship to sit down and chant Hare Krishna, do Kirtan and discuss the Bhagavat, the wonderful Hare Adbhuta Viryasya, Krishna's pastimes, so that we develop a taste for that. The more we hear, the more we taste, the more we serve Krishna properly, under the authority, the more we will develop love for Krishna through the heart. That's what he's saying here. Karna Randhrena. They should go through the ears. He's making that. Pravishta Karna Randhrena. It should enter the ears. Through the heart it will go. Then you will be purified. This is a science. Krishna Katha enters your ears, goes into the heart, and you will get purified. This is repeatedly mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Again and again. We should hear Bhagavatam every day. We should read Bhagavatam every day. You should be eager to do it. The more you taste Krishna's pastimes, the more you want to do that. So, Maharaj Parikshit, he has fully understood what should be done. He's getting ready for dying. You must remember this. He's sitting there and getting ready for dying. But so cool he is. He speak more about Harikatha. I want to hear. Because I'm going to be bitten by a snake within 7 days and I'm going to die. I have decided to keep hearing this wonderful pastimes of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Because it is so purifying to my heart. That feeling, you see, That's why I said we should learn to live by the heart. In India, that was a civilization. Before all these invaders and infidels and all these great guys came and said to teach us the civilization of economy and GDP and currency and money and industrialization and factories and products and growth industrially and all that. People didn't need any of these things because they had the real wealth. They had the Bhagavatam, they had Ramayana, they had Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, and they had art, culture, everything. And everybody using their talents would glorify the Lord. Simply glorify the Lord. I heard this morning Prabhupada's lecture saying, when I was young, although I was in a bustling metropolitan city, he said my uncle was about 10 miles, 12 miles away from the city in a village. And I used to be very excited to go with my father to that village. And in the village, he said that after taking dinner, my Priyapa, my father's father, my father's brother, would take me, all of us, to the nearby place, near the temple. And there was a holy man speaking Ramayana. Every evening, the whole village gets together and sits there under the tree. And he speaks Ramayana. And he said that everybody on the way back by 9 o'clock will be talking about all the pastimes and going back home. And he said when they're sleeping also, they're talking about this, thinking about this. And he said they'll all dream about Ramachandra. He's saying this and that. They will all dream. In this way, life was filled with Krishna consciousness. It is very simple and nice. Very good relationships with everybody. No competition, no money, no position, no any of these things. Because the earth is giving everything. It's not that I made it. You just plant a seed, it comes. We are by the river. It's all easy to do. Easy to produce food. It comes from the earth, and the earth is Krishna's special mercy. Bhumi, our dear earth, and they worship the earth. They get food. They share it among themselves, offer it to the Lord. They have plenty of food. What more do you need? Nice place to stay. By the river. Very pure air. Cows. And they're sitting and hearing Krishna Katha, doing Kirtan Bhajan. This is how life is meant to be. It's meant to be like that. Simple. And that is why Parikshit Maharaj was left the city, left the palace, everything, coming, sitting down next to the Ganges. And hearing. Very simply. Eating little. He didn't even eat and didn't even drink any water for 7 days. Can you imagine? And hearing. But what is it? Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna's pastimes. How does this work? How does this work? What is life by the heart and life by the head? It is not that they did not use the head at all. That's why they were stupid people. That's why the invaders came and made India a great nation. India was made a nation by the British. Before that, it was not even a nation. It was just a lot of people fighting with each other. It's the Britishers who came and made us a nation. That's what they say. It's a wrong interpretation. It's a wrong interpretation. Of course, fallen Brahmanas and all that, exploited people and all that is. The British, what they saw was a wrong version of the Sanatana Dharma because of the polluted Brahmins. They had fallen down, it was Kali Yuga, and Shringi started it. From then on, it's been falling down. So what they saw is something different. They saw definitely barbaric. What are you telling the lady who's become a widow to go into the fire and burn herself up? Forcing her to do it. This is all very bad. And they saw it. They saw that these corrupt Brahmanas were doing all sorts of things. Very corrupt they were. And what they saw, they reacted to that. They reacted to that. They didn't understand all the philosophy that this and all that. They thought this is a very horrible, low-class people. Some tribal people. They thought. And that is how they treated us. That's how they treated us. What little they knew here and there, they paid importance to that. But that is not the India. That's not the Bharat. Bharat means this, what you're seeing in the scene now. Parikshit Maharaj sitting there. He is a very opulent king. It's not that city life was not there, not that technology was not there, not all these things was not there. Of course it was there. And also, there were also rishis and sages in the forest living extensively and cultivating Krishna consciousness and helping everybody to do that also. That is living by the heart. The heart is where Krishna is situated. The heart is where you are situated as spirit soul. The heart is where all these wonderful emotions are created. And that's where real life is. But we are given up that. And we're leading a life based on this economy, money, social position, respect, competition, envy, greed, anger, lust, all these things employ. Become very complicated. Very complicated. So, Shukadeva Goswami likes to see such a person. You understood. To you only I should speak. You will appreciate it. When the speaker and the listener both have this understanding, you like what I'm going to speak, and I like to speak to you because you like what I speak. Why? The topic is Krishna. The topic is Krishna, the supreme absolute truth. So they both were talking. And it is not that everybody who was sitting there were devotees. There were all sorts of people. A lot of them were hearing and getting purified. There were yogis, there were karmis, there were jnanis, there were all sorts of rishis and sages. All sorts of rishis and sages. So sometimes you'll see Shukadeva Goswami will speak for them also. A little bit. This way, that way. He'll speak information that is good for them also, so that they'll stick on and they'll hear the real katha also. So in Bhagavatam you'll see sometimes the katha goes into a little bit of that philosophical things and everything also. Deep philosophy, which is necessary. So that is what Parikshit Maharaj is saying. Please tell me. I want to hear. Eagerness to hear is what you can note here. Right? I want my ears to be filled with that. You see, I often tell you the story about the story of Vikramaditya. King Vikramaditya and his Vetal sitting on his shoulder. There's a story that the Vetal said about a powerful man-eating Rakshasa who appeared in the palace of a king who had some very nice kingdom with good ministers and smart people assisting him. He came in through this skulls at him, hanging with all. He all of a sudden came into the palace and he said, King, I want to eat all of you. I'm very good at it. Nobody escapes me. But since you are a king, I want to ask you one question. Failing which, I will eat you up. I give you 24 hours. Out of all these skulls, which is the best? You must tell me by tomorrow. What a question. He just threw the skulls and said, you must tell me by tomorrow. I will come. If you don't answer me, I will eat you up. And you must have heard about me. So the king said he had to accept it. And so he just kept quiet. And then he left. When they met, he asked the minister, what is this? I am being accosted like this. How will I answer this question? What does he answer this question? And he asked his ministers, everybody was shocked. He asked his ministers, nobody said anything. The most intelligent of those ministers looked at the skulls and looked at the king for some time again and again and kept quiet. And the king said, what about you? He said, let me think about it. So the king became very agitated. 24 hours he was very agitated. Night he didn't sleep. He was pacing up and down. What could be the answer? I am a king, I am not able to give an answer. A Rakshasa comes and questions me like this, and I am not able to give an answer. So the Vetal was telling Vikramaditya, now you understand, Vikramaditya, you are a king. You must also know the answer. But I'll give you the answer. The story went like this. And he tells, the next day the Rakshasa came. And the king was completely, at loggerheads with what to do. I don't know. And he was looking at the minister and saying, the Rakshasa came, answer. This minister, all the other ministers didn't say anything. So this minister came forward and said, that skull, through which if you put a stick through the ears, you can reach up to the other ear only. That is useless. That skull, if you put your sword or your stick or anything through, and you can reach up to the mouth, it comes out through the mouth, that is second best. But that is also not required, not useful. But that skull, where you put the stick and your sword through the ears, goes down into the heart. That is the best skull. The Rakshasa simply turned around and left. Turned around and left. And the king was so surprised. He said, what did you say? I don't understand anything what you said. How is that the right answer? How is that the right answer? And the minister simply smiled and said, O king, don't you give instructions all the time? Don't you give instructions all the time? Even to us ministers. Isn't it frustrating to you that many times you are not understood? He said, yeah, of course. Is it not frustrating to you that you're not fully understood? He said, of course. Is it not pleasing to you when sometimes I give you correct solutions? He said, yeah. Very, very happy I become. Because there's so many problems. And when somebody gives me the right solution, it is workable and everything. That is exactly what this Rakshasa is asking. Since you're an experienced king, this Rakshasa is also very intelligent. I gave the answer. This is what it means. Those who take your instructions, take it from one ear and leave it out through the other ears. They are useless to you. Isn't it? This Rakshasa is coming to tell you that. Don't believe all those fellows who are, yes, very good, shake the head. And, I'm not going to listen to what he says. I don't value it. We don't value it. That's all. Then those people who come to hear so that I can also speak. Some come to hear to be able to speak like these other people who listen to me. His heart is not yet reached. But from here. Shortcut. For that he will hear. That's better than taking like this and giving it out like this. But the third, not only does he hear, it goes through his heart. Karnarandrena means it goes not just through the ears, where it goes. Go to the head as a jnani, go to the ears or go to the mouth. No, go to the heart. Goes to the heart. Yat karnanadim deharatim chindanti. Another shloka in the Bhagavatam says, it goes through the ears and gets to the heart and cuts the knots of material life. Deharatim chindanti. You have attraction for so many things in this world, it will cut that and make you get attracted to Krishna. Right? So this is what is mentioned here by Parikshit Maharaj. I want to live a life of the heart. I want to hear. I want to purify my heart. I want Krishna's love to be springing, welling up in my heart. I want to fall in love with Krishna and serve him and derive great pleasure by being a servant of Krishna. Accept him as my master and completely be absorbed in remembering his lotus feet. This is the conviction of a devotee. This is why gopis are praising such devotees. They are praising the lotus feet of Krishna, and they are praising those devotees who not only hear and become fixed, they do another thing. They go and speak about it to others. They go and speak about it to others. They did not hear for the sake of speaking. They heard for the sake of deeply being absorbed in service to Krishna. And then because they are enjoying this, they speak to others. That is Shukadeva Goswami. He is enjoying that deep association with Krishna. He said, everybody else should hear this also. What is the use of me alone keeping it? I should share it with everybody else. That feeling comes in a devotee. So wonderful these things are. I must talk about it to others. I must talk about it to the persons whom I know. It is the next natural feeling of a person who is enjoying Krishna consciousness, enjoying Krishna Katha, and his feeling lightness, purification in the heart. Why not everybody be like this? Why not everybody experience this? And he sets out and takes all sorts of pains, tribulations, trials, tapasya, for the sake of making other people also hear it. This is the life of Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. So you see in the purport he is saying very clearly, he is mentioning this. In other words, the cleansing of the polluted heart by other methods like the culture of Gyan, empiric knowledge, or mystic gymnastics, which is yoga, can simply cleanse one's own heart. But devotional service to the Lord is so powerful that it can cleanse the hearts of many people in general by the devotional service of the pure empowered devotee. Only the pure empowered devotee can do that. And a true representative of the Lord like Narada, Shukadeva Goswami, Lord Chaitanya, the 6 Goswamis, and later Bhakti Vinoda Thakura, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, etc., can deliver all people by their empowered devotional service. It doesn't say that anybody cannot do it. If you are an empowered devotee, you become determined to do it, then you can also do it. At least you must listen to your superiors who are telling you to do it this way. And you must continue listening to the instructions, coming in the parampara, and serving to make other people Krishna conscious. So sometimes we think that we are in the parampara, we should do. No, it is enough if you think that it is the order of Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada that I should do. It is the order. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada thought it is the order of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, therefore I must do. And he went and did it. He went and did it. Similarly, if everybody thinks it is the order, we must do it. Not only that, it is so wonderful. Why will I not do it? One thing is the order, but I don't even need an order because it's so nice and I want everybody to enjoy this. Because the heart of a devotee changes like that. Because if it is the head, he will think how to sell it and make money. He will immediately think how to sell it and make money. So that's why Prabhupada condemns those people who speak the Bhagavatam and make money. Very strongly condemns. You're monetizing Srimad Bhagavatam. I speak, you pay me. I'm a good speaker. I'll speak. People all will come. Your temple will become famous. And they will say, you arrange such a nice program. And he is a very good speaker. So he'll speak, he'll crack all sorts of jokes. He will speak about film actors, film actresses, politicians. In between he will speak Ramayana. Then he will say jokes about Sita. These are all sorts of funny things. And everybody appreciates it. Why? It's entertaining. It's entertaining. It goes in the name of Bhagavata Saptaha. And they'll all ask for that speaker. Nothing will happen to your heart. Your heart will remain polluted only. Okay, something will happen because you heard something about Lord Ramachandra. Some benefit will be there. But it doesn't purify your heart. That is why you must hear from a pure devotee, cleansed of all these things. And then your heart will become pure. So that is being told by Parikshit Maharaj here. And he is requesting Shukadeva Goswami, "Oh Brahmana, you are such a person. I want to hear from you. Because I am sure I'll purify myself, I'll go back to Godhead, and that so-called snake which is going to bite me, I will never know about it. I will never even know about it." And that's how it happened. Parikshit became completely absorbed in thinking about Krishna, about everything that Shukadeva Goswami had told him. Was completely in love with Krishna. So even Takshakas coming and biting him going was not at all eventful. It just became a non-event. Yes, completely. Nobody speaks about it. In the Bhagavatam, you won't see a very great description about it. 12th canto, a little bit. Takshaka came and bit him. That's all. Nothing big. Nothing big. The greater thing is, Parikshit Maharaj was so absorbed in Krishna that Takshaka got defeated. Shringi's curse got completely wiped out by the power of devotional service of Parikshit Maharaj. It was inconsequential, whatever great curse or anything. In this way, Parikshit Maharaj counteracted the curse of Shringi by completely becoming fixed in hearing the Bhagavat from Shukadeva Goswami. This is the way to counteract, not simply use your passion and anger and exercise it on somebody. That's a waste of energy. Take that energy and put it on Krishna consciousness. Use all that energy and turn it around. And put all your energy, focus it on hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, worshipping Krishna, serving his devotees. This is the best revenge against material nature. The best revenge against material nature is to turn around and serve Krishna. This is what Bhagavatam is teaching us. This is what Parikshit Maharaj is teaching us by this thing. Don't sit and lament and hanker. Don't waste your time. It's useless. Simply put all your energy in chanting, hearing Bhagavat, serving Krishna, being with devotees, and enthusiastically accept the activity of Krishna consciousness. And Parikshit Maharaj is guaranteeing it very soon Krishna will appear in your heart. And you can have his association. So this is history. You will see this in all the stories in the Bhagavatam. How great devotees did this successfully. And it is open to everybody because of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. During Parikshit Maharaj's time, it was only Parikshit Maharaj and a few others. The rest were all struggling with karma, jnana and everything. But now, by the activity of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, anybody in Kali Yuga can take it up. Can follow his instruction, read the Bhagavad Gita, chant Hare Krishna, be in the company of devotees. You have a chance to do what Parikshit Maharaj did. And don't underestimate this chance. Don't think it is not available to you. It's available to you. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Any question or comment? How do we know that there's no question or comment on the line? Oh, okay.
The case of Parikshit Maharaj, it is said that he is going to die in 7 days. So he renounces everything and he puts all the focus and seriousness in Krishna consciousness. But in our case, we don't know that. We are dividing our focus on our material growth and everything, and still we are having some focus on Krishna consciousness. We are not much focused on our destiny in our life.
But the pandemic just came. They said you're going to die anytime. You did not use that? How come you're still alive and around? If you want a situation like Parikshit Maharaj, that was also given by Krishna. Pandemic, everybody was like, when will I die? When will I die? That situation came now, no? It was like for everybody a Parikshit moment. The pandemic is pandemic Parikshit moment for everybody. Freely given to everybody. So, you don't have to wait for Parikshit moment. that somebody has to curse you. Every padam yat vipadam natesham. There is danger at every step in the material world. It is just that you're not aware of it. You don't know that it's so dangerous, the material world. So don't think that only if I am cursed by somebody I should read the Bhagavatam. For 7 days, somebody should give me a warning. That means all these guys who got cancer warning and all, and 2 months only, he should become pure devotee and be flying off to Vaikuntha. It's not happening. It's not happening. Even otherwise, you know you're going to die. So, you should anyway read Bhagavatam. Because you know you're going to die. Huh? Well, if you want it, Krishna will give it to you. He'll break 2 hands of yours and put you in the hospital like this. You better focus now. You cannot walk, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You don't have to ask for those type of things. See, Nalla Mattukku oru Sudu is nicely being taught to you by Parikshit Maharaj. You don't have to become Parikshit, neither do you have to have a Parikshit moment in your life in order to take up the Bhagavatam and read it. Who's stopping you? Nobody is stopping you. You know this is what is to be done. Do it. Just do it. Nobody is asking you to do it 24 hours like Parikshit Maharaj. Do it at least for 2 hours a day. 1 hour a day. 2 hours a day. Chant Hare Krishna. Read Bhagavatam. Don't you think it's your duty to do it? If you fail to do it, you are a very irresponsible human being. After knowing all these things, you must spend a time on hearing Bhagavatam, discussing it, asking questions, clarifying it, exploring what it means, understanding the philosophy, the theology, understanding Krishna, all these things. This is what life is meant for. Why would you think anything else is more important? It's on how you give value. What do you give value to? According to that, you will take it up. Parikshit, you see what his value is. He didn't give value to being a king anymore. All the treasury, all the great wealth, he is so powerful a king, he could stop Kali from coming inside. So he was very famous, very powerful. And a devotee also. But of all these things, he chose to focus on devotional service, not on a Kshatriya status. So is it not focus? It's a decision you have to take for focus. Go focus. Take a decision. Who's stopping you? Who's stopping you? Actually, nobody is stopping you. Only you are stopping yourself. By thinking all these things. Hey, what will I do in the material world? You can do that also. It doesn't really require much. When a person starts tasting Krishna consciousness, he'll see he can do his material duties very easily. Because he's absorbed in Krishna. It takes very less time to do all other material duties. It is an amazing thing. It's an illusion to think that I don't have time to chant Hare Krishna. The same people, when they start chanting, after 1 or 2 years saying, I am chanting plus doing and I still have spare time. This is what they will tell you. This is what they'll tell you. They have more time once they start chanting Hare Krishna. They have done all their other duties. Because all nonsensical things which you think about all disappear. There's plenty of mental time. So many other things disappear from the head. So who said there is no time? There's plenty of time. The more you pay value to it, the more time you'll get. And the less time you need to pay for other things, and they get done. And if they are not done, it doesn't bother you very much. Because the focus has changed. The proof of focus is that you are doing it. The proof of not doing it is that you are focusing on something else. Yes, any other question or comment? Om Tat Sat, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki